Thirst. We could smell the river long before we could see it. Eastern Utah's San Rafael was running thick with gypsum gray alkali, pushed along by late season mountain thunderstorms and mini floods beginning miles to the west. The land around us was drought stricken. In our desert canyon, the sky was clear and it was hot. At the river, our group dug into the banks, letting the water seep and filter through the sand to fill our holes, but it was no use. The filtered water still stank, and those who tried it vomited within minutes. We camped dry that night with the hope that the water seeping through the bank would settle and clear by morning. Just in case, I organized the group into small parties who would begin to search for water at first light. One party would search the white sandstone swells for pothole or tank water. Others would search the side gullies and cliffs for seep springs. Most of the group seemed to handle going to bed without a drink quite well. As for myself, I suffered. The others had eaten and drunk their fill just prior to joining me that day. I, however, had spent 2.5 months on the trail. That morning I had hiked 18 miles alone to greet this new group of 18 walkers with their 4 instructors. The trek had been long and dry, and my body was already on the edge of dehydration. The walkers had hiked about 3 miles from the drop point near the river, none of us realizing that the flow had suddenly become poisoned. I felt I had made a bad mistake in pushing so hard and starting this group in new country. In the morning, our water holes still reeked of gypsum, so everyone was anxious to begin the quest for water. Each party fanned out to its assigned area. I joined a small group under the direction of Janet Simonson, a veteran instructor and daughter of the Shoshone tribe. She was well acquainted with hard times on the trail. We spread out in a large fan, walking up the gentle slopes of the white sandstone swells. These bare stone areas typically channel snow and rainwater into cracks and rivulets that join each other in deeper cracks, falling over small ledges to form deep, rounded potholes or tanks in the solid stone. Some of these tanks, if shaded and deep enough, will store clean water cleared through the dry months. Some hold hundreds of gallons, others hold only quarts. Except for drowned lizards and insects, this water is clean and pure, generally the best to be had in canyon country. My energy was very low, and I walked slowly with my arms limp, conserving what calories and moisture remained in my body. No one was to my right. Janet was in sight several hundred yards to my left. I spotted a likely-looking gully and headed toward it. It is difficult to recapture or describe what it is like to just dry up and lose the function of arms and legs. Remembering is limited to brief seconds spread between long moments of semi-consciousness. At some point I stooped to pick up an old whiskey bottle left by some long-ago sheepherder. The cap was still on the empty bottle. Then I remember whiteness, brilliant whiteness, and the ground around me faded and disappeared. I took a few steps and fell on my face. I wondered why I didn't put my arms out to break my fall. My face hit the slick rock, and I felt blood but no pain. The bottle smashed to pieces under me. My legs and back were sliding along, scraping against stone and brush. My right arm was stretched tight in the grip of someone dragging me in short jerks. Then there was a slight shadow, and I felt myself being propped up. I opened my eyes to whiteness, but I felt I was in the bottom of a gully, partly in the shade of an overhanging ledge. A few feet from me I could hear digging in a low spot near the ledge. The ground was damp. I raised myself up a little, but I had no strength. Slowly, as my sight returned, I saw Janet digging with her bare hands, reaching into the hole. Up to her shoulder, I noticed the bottom half of the broken bottle standing near the hole. The cap was there, too. Whiteness overtook me again. Someone was forcing the bottle cap between my lips, and my muddied brain was aware that a small amount of tepid water was trickling into my mouth. More capfuls followed. I vomited, and Janet forced more water into me. I started feeling really sick. Every part of me woke up and rebelled. My muscles cramped, my eyes ached, and all my innards seemed to twist at the same time. I could feel my heartbeat, magnified and fast. I didn't want any more water, but Janet forced me to keep drinking a capful at a time. Gradually, I realized that she was bringing me back from severe dehydration. In the next few hours, others helped me walk slowly back to camp. One of the groups had found a seep spring, and soon water was plentiful. In the late afternoon, a cowboy rode through our camp, driving 6 heads of cow. He said the water in the river is so bad that the cows were sick and going blind. He was evacuating. My group was refreshed and ready to push on to higher country and good water. I was still near delirium and couldn't go on, so the cowboy offered to take me out to a town where we could find help. I was put on the horse behind the man, and my wrists were tied to the sides of the saddle. My head bounced against his back for the next 3 hours until we reached his camp. From there, he drove me to a town where I received medical treatment. They told me to eat and drink hearty and put on a lot of salt on my food before I hit the trail again. 3 days later, I caught up with my group. Now we were all in good shape.